It's Tia. It's been a Mississippi minute, but we bite, baby.
What's up, Pink Posse? It's your girl Ja, and yup, we back at it like a crack addict.
It's your girl Jiggy, aka Tanika. Listen, pull up on us. It's time to cut up, cause we back.
What's up, Pink Posse? It's your girl Koji, and we're back. Pink Sunday Radio.
Yeah, the sponsorship.
Take your time.
We're going to sponsorship and how sometimes you just have to get a sponsor, you know?
Ooh, so that is going to be edited. So the next subject is, do you think the type of sponsorship that Sadie's had with Coach is akin to prostitution? John, what you think?
So yes, a little bit, but I do feel like it's like same block but not the same house, if that makes sense. Like it's in the neighborhood but not white. And I say that is because I mean, a lot of times we as women are raised, and even in definitely older women were taught that you don't deal with a man that isn't doing something for you. You know, if he's not spending money on you, if he's not prepared to take care of you, that's not a man, you know. And so in general, the idea of, you know, this situation, but this is actually a business transaction. It is, I will give you this amount of money and this amount of gifts. What I want in return is you on my arm and sex. So it's not I'm doing things for you because I like you, and yeah, I definitely want to have sex with you, but you know, I'll wait till if or when that happens. These are the terms and conditions. I am paying my money. I want to have sex. But within this realm, Coach is not a random stranger that, you know, she approached on a corner. He is a person that for, I think, years has been a regular. She's familiar with him, and they both are at the crossroads of need and desire. You know, and so each one has something the other one needs, something the other one has, and so there's the terms and conditions. So that's why I feel like it's in the neighborhood, most definitely, but not exactly the same house, if that makes sense.
It does. Sorry.
You're good.
So for me, so this question came from Katori. She put the tweet up, I think at some point during the episode breakdown for the Dirty Dozen episode. And to me, the question, it's a roundabout semantics type of game that we're talking about, because prostitution is like a kind of been made into like a dirty word. It has like some kind of like baggage that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was reading the replies to her tweet, and what I mean when I say it's a semantics game, one of the replies says, no, it says, I'm a webcam actress and my customers are sponsors. Doesn't make me a prostitute. And I read that and say, are you sure? Because a webcam actress, now I'm making an assumption this is like OnlyFans or something, right? So that's a sexual performance in exchange for payment. How, I'm not seeing where that's different than prostitution. Like, yes, you're not standing on the street corner, like the baggage that comes with the word prostitution, like you're on the street corner giving, you know, blowjobs for $2. Yes, you're not doing that, but you're still exchanging some form of sex for payment. So to me, that's still prostitution. The very next reply to that says, a prostitute is someone who identifies as one and a sponsor is a sponsor. So, okay, but to me, there's no one that's better than the other. Sex work is sex work. Call it what you want. They're the same things, but I guess saying you have a sponsorship comes with less baggage and there's less taint on that word. I think maybe the difference in a sponsorship and what we consider quote unquote regular prostitution would be sometimes there's like exclusivity, like you just only have one client, but I think not necessarily. You can have multiple sponsors, or your sponsor not expect it just to be y'all two. And also reading the replies, there was a lot of this idea that a sponsorship came with or offered some sort of companionship, and a prostitute didn't. And I feel like all forms of sex work offer some level of companionship depending on what it is. I think even like the I don't want to say the stereo, like what we consider a stereotypical prostitute, like the ones that they made shows about, like Hookers at the Point they used to have on HBO. Even those kind of girls that stood on the street corner in the cold at night offer, like when I watched that show, there was like conversation. It wasn't always just sex. So I think every type of sex work offers some form of companionship. So I think, to me, these are all the same things. We're talking about the same things, but we just find a better way to say it, some different words to pretty it up. But my answer would be yes. Sponsorship is prostitution.
So I didn't read any of those follow-up tweets, but that definitely makes this a lot of semantics going on. Because what the fuck you mean I'm a webcam actress? First and foremost, shut the fuck up with webcam actress. Like, girl, bye. But anyway, and I have sponsors, and here's my thing, and it's okay that it's a form of prostitution. And that's the part that it's like,
yep.
Yeah, because now in this day and age we say sex work because that encompasses so much different things. But yes, it's a form of sex work. And my thing with the Mercedes Coach arrangement, what it ended up being and what I originally thought it was going to be are totally different, because I felt like he was basically wanting a wife and a girlfriend in his original, what he was proposing. Let me take you from the pole to the palace. I'm thinking she's going to live in this condo full time and get whatever she wants. And then basically whenever Coach is not with his wife, he's with Sadie's, and they are actually having a relationship. So I was a little taken aback when it went to a condo that it seems like it's not even her condo now. It's the condo that Farrah and Coach already live in, and basically she goes somewhere for the weekend while they have sex for 2 days and get paid $10,000. Those are what I thought it was going to be and what it became are two totally different things. Because in that first season, I'm thinking her kind of hesitation of it isn't just how she feels about being a hoe or whatever, but she does not like Coach. Like, we have seen that throughout this, that he's a great regular. They obviously have conversations, but she doesn't have any feelings for Coach. And to me, first season Coach and this interaction was given very much he had feelings for her, and she did not want to do this, I'm living in a condo that you're paying for and stuff like that, not just because of how she felt it was prostitution or sex work, but because it's a level of commitment she's not interested in having with Coach. Like the coming to the club, the private dances, the whatever, that's about as far as she wants to deal with this man. So when he's talking about basically living a life as his girlfriend, mistress, and he probably would have had her at games, because like what Coachy said earlier on the show, I think is spot on, that Farrah really didn't care too much what Coach had going on. Like, that marriage had been dead for a long time. So I don't even think Farrah be going to games, none of that. So I'm thinking this is now going to be, it's pretty much what Coach said. This is going to be Mercedes' position. She's in the box. She's basically the one that people are seeing. And I don't know how he's swinging that. I don't know what the guidelines are in his coaching agreement, because a lot of times they have stuff about conduct like that. But that's what I'm thinking. So I was a little taken aback. The original one, while it is sex work, I don't know, it's a little finessed from what it actually became. But, yeah, it's sex work, just like everything else Mercedes has been doing up to this point is sex work. So the idea that, like you guys have both said, one is better or worse than the other has always been ridiculous to me, just me personally. Koji, do you have thoughts?
Man, listen. At the end of the day, if you are a webcam actress, you do your thing, girl. Okay? At the end of the day. Period. You know, if you are sponsored, okay, and you are getting paid to have sex, do your thing, okay? Regardless of what you're doing, sex workers rock.
Indeed.
No, but honestly, I agree. No, honestly, I agree, though. I agree with you guys. Okay. Oh my God, y'all can't hear me. Oh my God. Okay. Honestly, though, I agree with y'all totally. I don't agree with Tia, which is, wow, this is a first, maybe fifth. But I think that webcam actresses, like, they are real. I mean, can you imagine performing for these like, but then again, there's like business and husbands and, you know, lawyers and doctors and professionals and everything that, you know, that's a form of entertainment. And they're working it. They're putting on costumes. They're becoming characters. So they're webcam actresses. It's a form of entertainment. They have scripts to study, Tia. You know? They are working, ma'am. They have agents, you know.
What does the webcam actress agent do?
They book them. There are webcam movies, okay, and they are booking for roles. Okay, like we need a redhead, you know, boop, 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 and they audition and they book the webcam role, okay? So they are doing their thing. So don't you slight my webcam actress sisters, okay? They are working hard.
Webcam actress long form is sounding a scotch-like porn film. So are porn stars erotic website actresses?
Yes.
You know what?
I like that.
Yes.
Put that on the resume. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I will agree, though, with Koji and say that maybe a webcam actress, if she is performing her acts alone, or, well, I guess either way, is not necessarily prostitution. But I think it depends on, like, how you're performing. Because I feel like prostitution, and maybe the description was read and I don't remember what it said, I feel like that's more of a physical exchange, you know, whereas on the webcam, you're doing, you know, whatever you're doing, maybe alone. It's a fantasy. That person is on the other side of the screen and they're touching themselves. It is sex work, but I don't think it's prostitution. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I had a friend who, and I'm about to put the little business out. I have a friend who is married, and said friend doesn't think that live masturbation with another person is cheating. And I tried to explain to them that you are still performing a sexual act with another person, even though you are not touching. But see, that's also interactive, right? That's live action, like we're arousing each other. But that webcam, quote unquote, webcam actress is probably not even hot and bothered. She has no idea who's on the other side of the screen. It's more of like, instead of being on opposite sides of a window, it's more like being on opposite sides of a brick wall, and you're just performing, and you're putting on your show. So I think that is a little bit different than prostitution, but it's still sex work.
I think we see Keyshawn also make this delineation because for all intents and purposes, what she was doing to keep money in the house during the pandemic, the panorama, was basically webcam work. Like, she was performing for, what did he say, 500,000 motherfuckers sitting slobbing in their house. She's performing essentially webcam work. But when Sheriff Bailey asked her, you aren't internet, whatever, I can't remember exactly how he posed it, but she was like, ain't nobody doing no porn.
Right. Are you doing that internet stuff?
Oh my God. She did say it like that. Tia, I forgot.
Separation. Yeah, I think we see this separation on both sides of this. One type of sex work is better than the other, or more prestigious, because it's like, no, you don't do porn, but you dance naked for like hundreds of thousands of men in their homes multiple times a day. It was like, yeah, so that was the 2:30. Now I got at 3 o'clock. Like, it's multiple showtimes. Like, maybe she an actress for real, because it's showtime.
And guess what? And when you do it on the webcam, your money stream expands, because you can do Cash App, Zelle, Bitcoin, Cash Coin, whatever. I mean, that's why a lot of people expanded to the internet, because it's not just cash transactions, you can do so many things on the internet. So,
do you think that the Pink would have been better doing some type of web on demand strip club thing versus Pussyland? Because while Pussyland was smart, it doesn't seem like it was doing okay, but it doesn't seem like it was bringing in the big money, because they were still pretty much bleeding money. They were pretty much staying afloat. I'm thinking, why didn't they do something like what Mississippi did?
Because Mississippi was kicked out the club. Now, see, listen, if Mississippi hadn't been banned, but see, she pulled a gun on Diamond. Now, see, if she was still around, I guarantee you she probably would have put that idea in Cliff's head, and they would have been making Big Bang Hank, if you think about it. Monte would have still been there. She would, it's a lot of things that probably would have went right, because she would have planted that, Uncle Clifford, we could have like these booths set up, then online, and they would have been making big bank. And hey,
you think that was Mississippi's idea and not Rome's idea for the online thing?
I think that was Mississippi. I think
really do.
Coach is right about that. Yeah, I think Mississippi was the really internet savvy one. So with her gone from the club, they didn't really think of that. But it would have been a good idea. It would have expanded their revenue stream, because all you got is the few niggas rolling around Chuckalisa that need a car wash and can pull up. In the Snow episode, we heard Murder say that the legend of Uncle Clifford done made it all the way to Houston. Like, if they had did a web show, the ones in Houston that can't pull up for Pussyland would have probably, logged on to watch Pussyland on the computer. during the pandemic, whatever online was the thing. So that would have been really their move. But I don't think Uncle Clifford is internet savvy enough to know that. We see she didn't even have a damn DJ, and finding a DJ should have been 100 times easier during the pandemic. There was just DJs all day. Yep, all day and night. DJs were showing their skills. So I think
David was making real money.
Who wasn't in DJ Nice Panoramic? Okay,
he was the one that really set the tone. Like it was a vibe, and he went to like a million followers. He had like almost no followers at the beginning of the Panorama, and then he went over a million. Like that and the verses, like those early verses before they sold it were like everything.
Yep.
That was everything. I would stay posted up, like especially being at work because everybody was home, but we had to be at work. So like it helped me for real. Like it really helped keep my spirits up when I was at work and listening to his shit, bro. For real.
That would have been like dope. Like, can you imagine if they had the online Pussyland and then they were live streaming DJ Nyson? That would have been dope. They would have made all kind of crazy money.
But they needed Keyshawn to think up all that because the rest of them ain't doing it. Haley ain't doing it. Unc ain't doing it.
Cause she came up with Murder Night. She told her, she was like, and we're gonna call it Murder Night. Like she was like, Keyshawn. But it was like she really thinks of shit. She's the one that's tapped in like that. You know, for real. Like she said, what he gonna do? So I think it would have been wrong. It would have been Sip that would have put that shit in Cliff's ear, and they would have ran with it. But, you know, hey, it is what it is.
I have a different thought. I don't think Keyshawn was doing OnlyFans. She was doing live, so she was getting views. Keyshawn didn't seem to be making any actual or real money outside of the Mississippi tees and the Mississippi lashes and the whatever else that Rome was booking her. She was going live for the entertainment. Maybe it was because it's never really clear on where she was live. So maybe she was live somewhere where they could, buy stars or buy.
Well, that's the thing. It was probably a super
whatever,
chat.
but they were still living, huh?
It was probably a super chat because if you go live, that's what they pay. Like exactly what the webcam actress said is they sponsor. You can buy stars, whatever the stuff, and super chat, or you can just donate. I'm sure she probably had her Cash App, her Venmo, herself, and everything else on there too.
But she still didn't have no money. She's sweating murder for
but she paid all the bills, so shit.
I never got from her that she didn't have any money. I thought she was actually doing pretty well. I mean, they were still living kind of ghetto because they didn't have no air conditioning. But
hot dogs on plain white bread with no damn ketchup. They was hungry in that house. They was
starving. But I think that's how they're raised. Like I never got from any part of this. Like I think it was just like, bitch better have my money with why she was asking Murder for her stash, because it's like, bruh, we did this video and I haven't even here come Murder again. I haven't even heard from you since we did the video. Like this is a pattern for him where he just walk away from people and forget they exist. But I never got from her. Did y'all remember that thread where somebody was like, why is everybody in Chucalissa so broke? And they listed like everything about people were broke, and one of the things about Keyshawn and Derek is they don't have no air conditioner and stuff like that. I don't get broke from Mississippi here, but you could be right that we don't get broke. Like maybe the actual webcam stuff is more to advertise and promote the other stuff that's actually making money.
Yeah, I don't get the idea that she was getting money, because they even discussed it. He said, well, look at those eyes on you. She's like, oh, I get that in a day. They were really only discussing, she's getting, 4 million viewers a day but the money didn't seem to be, she's still at the dollar store to get her moon pies, and then I get it, like there's not too much places to go to do this and that, but she's still like begging, can I get this Prada booties for the baby? It just doesn't seem like she's doing the OnlyFans numbers. And so I agree with you. I think she's going stripping live on the camera, but that is to draw the audience to the tees and the lashes, and eventually it was because she could afford her own wig. She wouldn't need Rome's little hand-me-down wig deal, except for, what she did, she had her hairs, but you know what I'm saying? Like, she needed something, and Rome felt like he felt like he was putting food on her table.
Well, she only went to the dollar store for Diamond. She didn't go there. She didn't ever go and get a moon pie. She went there to talk to Diamond, and she just took Lisa. It's either the dollar store or the Piggly Wiggly. The dollar store, Diamond was there. It was closer. It ain't that many selections.
I think it's a couple of different things. I think she's the only breadwinner in the house, caring for Derek and 2 kids. So, like, the money has to stretch. I think
that's
even though she may have 4 million views, like, everybody's not going to be a sponsor. Everybody's not going to be making a donation. If she has how many hundreds of thousands that she had on IG, like, she's going to have a fraction of that on OnlyFans where you have to pay. So I do think she was making money, but the numbers are not the same, right? It's not going to be 4,000 people or 4 million people on OnlyFans all paying whatever the subscription number is. It's going to be, there was that many on IG, and maybe a couple of hundred of them actually have an OnlyFans subscription. So I do think she was making money, just not the money that the numbers might say she might have.
I also think there's some financial manipulation happening here with Derek, because the fact that Haley had to basically they had to basically organize a way for her to get the money to be able to leave, even though up until this point she's the only one making money. That says to me that for whatever reason, Derek is in control of this money and where it goes. So that's why she's asking about the Prada booties and this, and that. And that's why he's buying the Louboutins in the one episode where he like lost his damn mind. But because even though she makes the money, he is controlling it, because so she might not even actually know how much money she is or is not making, because it doesn't even sound like she has visibility of the money for them, because if they're trying to figure out money, it shouldn't have just been, if she's been making money like we're talking about, even just from the promotions and stuff that she's been doing and whatever they made from the tour, it shouldn't have been, well, we can get you money by having you close, like be the headliner for this night, and then you get a part of the door. Like when Haley was like, nah, like when she wanted to split the door 4 ways or whatever, and Haley's like, no, you need this. Like apparently the only money she was going to have is whatever Haley gave her, even though this whole time she's making the money. So whatever way, how, she doesn't seem to have any access to the money she makes.
And you bringing that up, Tia, tell you that
Miss Shamika Cotton, that's right, Coach's wife, Farrah Haynes, will be joining our show on April 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern. That means you have 2 weeks to get in those burning Farrah questions. Send them to our IG, Pink Sunday Radio, or send us an MP3 to our email address at pinksunday@gmail.com.
Appreciate y'all for listening to the show. You can find us on Blog Talk Radio by using the link bit.ly/Pink Sunday. For Apple Podcasts, go to pinksundayradio.com. Make sure after listening to the replay, you leave a 5-star rating in the review, as well as a subscribe. For Google Podcasts, go to pinksundayradio.com/Google Podcast, as well as Spotify at pinksundayradio.com/Spotify. Hope to see you at the next episode.